We are so excited today to have Raphael from The Wealthy Expat here to talk to us. Thank you, Raf.
Happy to be here in Australia.
Yeah, Raf flew all the way from Dubai to Australia to be here today, so we cannot wait to have him. We're going to ask him so much. So Raf, the most important question, what is the life of an Australian in Dubai? Can you give us a bit of a background and maybe talk a bit more about your clients and some of their experiences?
We have many Australian clients. That's our biggest market. Moving to Dubai, getting residency, homes in Dubai specifically. Clients that are paying a lot in tax. And most of those clients have obviously money to spend and live quite a good life in Dubai. And that's what I really recommend. If you have a lot of money, Dubai is the best place to spend that and enjoy that. For example, one of our clients, Sam, he moved to Dubai about 2 months ago and he is truly living the life. He comes from the farm here. It's a big farm family, but they're very wealthy because farming in Australia, if you bought it decades ago, now it's appreciated crazy. Now they're also investing into crypto. They're worth over $100 million, his whole family. In Dubai, he's renting Lamborghinis. He's enjoying the views. He's absolutely loving it. And obviously he's setting up his residency there and tax residency. I would say a lot of people criticize Dubai. A lot of people have bad experiences in Dubai because they feel it's fake. And I agree to a certain extent because Dubai is a lot more artificial, a lot less nature than Australia. If you're coming from a place like Sydney, for example, it's completely full of nature. Here in Melbourne, you got the botanical gardens, you got a lot of places with nature. If you go to Dubai, you'll feel, oof, there's no trees here. There's only desert and sand. And that is true. To an extent, there are some places that have nature. But the great thing about Dubai is that it's really well connected to everywhere else.
For sure.
So if you get tired of Dubai, you want to go to Switzerland and enjoy the mountains and the lakes and everything, you can fly easily. Yeah. You want to go to Cyprus or Turkey, they're very close by. And in Dubai, you can really enjoy your money. You can also use money freely. As long as you're not an Australian tax resident, you can use cash to pay for things. You can also send money between your bank accounts. The government doesn't care. So as long as you're not paying taxes here in Australia, in Dubai, you're a lot more free in your life.
Yeah, no, it sounds fantastic. And I love the fact that Emirates operates directly from Dubai airport, so it's connect to anywhere in the world, which is amazing. Raf, can you tell us a bit more about the steps involved in moving to Dubai and setting up there? I've spoken plenty of times about the Australian side of things. Let's talk about the UAE side of things.
For the UAE, if you want to get residency, there's many ways. The two top ones that I recommend is by starting a company, and then from that company you sponsor yourself under that company, or you can buy property. If you're a property investor and you got property down here in Australia, it's pretty easy for you to just get property in the UAE. If you get one for $200,000, which is around 200 something Aussie, I think, that gives you a 3-year permit. And if you get one for 550,000 US, which should be 700 something Australian, that gives you a 10-year golden visa. The golden visa potentially could become permanent residency later on, and if you're wanting to pay less taxes in Australia, then obviously a 10-year golden visa helps you a ton more than getting a 3-year permit. If you want to start a company and sponsor yourself as the CEO, then that's a 2-year visa, which is extendable. You can extend it every 2 years or 2 to 5 or so on. Those are the two main ways, and that whole process takes 30 days. It's very quick, whereas with Europe, for example, it takes 6 to 12 months to get residency. This is a very fast process.
Fantastic. So I just want to talk about the investment. So you're saying we can purchase a property within Dubai, potentially apartments, or I guess is that the only form of housing in the UAE, apartments?
Apartments, villas. For example, we have an Australian client now buying a villa for around 4 million US, so 6 something million Australian. He's already Australian tax non-resident.
Oh, that's good.
He's already buying a house there. And you can buy any type of homes, a penthouse, an apartment, a villa, and so on. Typically people buy apartments because then you can Airbnb them, and then you can rent them out, or you can just start the company. That'll cost you around 30,000 Australian, something like that, and then you can sponsor yourself, and that's all inclusive of the fees for the visa. And you also need to do a small medical test, which is just to check for HIV, and then your visa gets approved. It's 99.9 approval rating.
Yeah, okay. And majority of the clients from Australia that you see, is it mainly they set up a company and get sponsorship that way, or is it mainly by property?
Usually the company route is the most popular because it's 10% of what you would pay in property. And also a lot of people buy property. I've had clients that are very wealthy. They buy property in Dubai and then they regret it because they bought in the wrong area, or they just bought through an ad on Facebook or Instagram, and they're really good at marketing this. But what I've seen with many wealthy clients is they buy a property, let's say for $1 million, and then you notice that the balcony of your neighbor sees directly at your bedroom. And sometimes the construction of these property developments in Dubai is quite strange. They don't think about the person living there, they just think about cookie cutter places that they can sell. So you also need to do some research by yourself, visit the property. So if you're looking to move to Dubai, get your residency through the company, spend 10% of what you would spend, and then buy the property 3 to 6 months after when you really see the landscape.
For sure. And I guess that gives you an opportunity to explore Dubai, explore the UAE, and then see where you want to live. Because you might not want to live in Dubai Marina. You might want to live somewhere else. You might not want to live in Dubai. You might want to live in Abu Dhabi. There's many cities as part of the Emirates. So I think it could be a great opportunity to have that company set up. Is there anything else we need to be aware of when it comes to setting up a company? Because my understanding is you've got the mainland company and you've got a free zone company. Where do you see majority of clients opening up?
Free zone, definitely. It's free of tax, free of regulation. Starting in 2023, 2024, it's still a proposed thing. They're going to start auditing to see if you're actually selling inside of the UAE. That would require a mainland company. A mainland essentially just means that you're selling inside of Dubai and the UAE. Most people don't sell inside, but let's say you run a restaurant in Australia and you want to start that restaurant in the UAE, then obviously you're selling to UAE people, and that then means that you need a mainland. A mainland does pay tax starting next year, 9% on profit and 5% value added tax, VAT or sales tax. So those you need to be accounted or account into. But usually most people start the free zone because you're typically selling to people outside of the country.
Yeah, and if you were, the last one, if you were combining both inside and outside selling, would you open up a free zone or would you open up a mainland?
That would need a mainland if you're selling inside of the UAE.
And so you're able to apportion your sales in the mainland between local, domestic / international.
Right, or you can just start 2 different companies. We don't know because there are tax changes as with any other country starting next year. What they're proposing is that there's going to be a tax on mainland and then there's not going to be a tax on free zones, and they're going to keep all the benefits. So maybe it would be better if you're selling to both outside and inside, then just get 2 different companies and then just pay tax on the mainland and not pay tax on the free zone. But to be honest, nobody has any idea. The government usually proposes things like 9% tax, and then nobody knows anything until a week before when they say, actually, no, it's going to be 2%. The government tends to do that a lot. They say something, it goes on the news, and then a year later they say, actually, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, well, that's the way we know at governments, where they flip and flop and they don't know what they're doing. But tax reform is coming. I always say it in my videos that tax reform is coming to Australia, but we have even heard now that tax reform is coming in the UAE. So it's really important that you are proactive and you take control of your finances. Here at Worldwide Accountancy, we enable and advance your financial liberty and literacy. Raf, thank you so much. Appreciate your time. And if you want to learn more about Australian tax residency, watch this video here.
Right here.